So we see we got a lot of water coming in here, and a lot of times people would mistake that maybe for a roof leak, and it's caused a lot of damage along the paint there. The water's running down the door and over here by the window as well. Got all this water coming in. So this situation here is not from the roof, and we'll show you what is really going on with this and what's caused that problem. Okay, the customer had some siding put on, had this new kind of guttering put on. I don't want to mention their name, but we can all see what kind of guttering it is. And we see here how it's leaning backwards. And that's because it's installed over top of the J channel that's here. So this J channel, because there's no overhang here in the back, this J channel right here sticks out further than the rest of the gutter board there. So you can see how it's been caulked, trying to keep that water from getting in there. But the cause of that is from that gutter leaning backwards. So there, you have a gutter leaning backwards because this corner post is sticking out further than the rest, so it causes it to lean backwards. You got that little lip right there, about 3/4 inches tall. And as the ice and snow builds up on the edge here, the water can't escape and get off the edge. So it'll fill up and drain out the back. And that's why they're getting water in there, and it's running in behind that J channel. So same thing here. You can see the edge of the shingles here curling backwards. So anytime you have shingles curling backwards like that, it's going to hold water right there. And that water will get behind that J chair, get behind that flashing, and it'll just leak in behind there because it's already bent backwards already. So once the water gets there, the water can actually run down the roof here, and once it touches this spot right here, it'll start running backwards because the metal that they put in there is actually leaning down that way because it's got to go up over top of the lip that's on the back of that gutter. So your metal's leaning like this. And as the water comes down the roof and touches here, it just drains right back into the wall again. So this drip edge has been screwed in the front. And as you take a drip edge, it's bent like this, and you screw it in the front, it's going to tilt the back of it a little bit. And of course, they got a screw here holding it there, maybe 1 or 2 screws down there. But when it comes to this side over here, they put 2 screws there. There's a screw there, and there's a screw there. But down there, they didn't use any screws at all. It's like they forgot to screw it down or something, I don't know. So again here, they never fastened it. So I mean, it would come right out. All you gotta do is lift it and pull it right out because it was never fastened in the first place. And there's the back of your gutter right there, and there's the gutter board. So the water will build up right there and just drain over the back of that gutter, run down inside the wall, inside that J channel, get inside the wall there, leak in the ceiling. And a lot of people, like I say, would think it's a roof leak. It's not. It's because these gutters were installed on this building this way. So that's definitely the wrong way to do things. In fact, these type of gutters here would be worse than having a regular box gutter on here because there's no overhang on the house. Now, they also put the siding on, same company. So if they would have put a piece of metal up here, Z-flashing, kind of come down the wall and then out. That way any water that got trapped in the back would just flow out the wall here. You wouldn't have all them stains in the ceiling, wouldn't have had all that trouble. The way they fasten these gutters, there's just a little plastic clip in there, and it kind of supports the top right here and screwed into the back, and they just put them in at random. They don't ever try to find a rafter or anything like that to secure it tightly. So what they do is just put them in at random, and they don't hold very. So as they were fastening this end down here, because they put these in at random. There's one here. We can see right there on the end where this downspout's at. And they actually missed the whole gutter board. Here's the back of the screw right there. Now that screw really is longer than that. It'd probably stick out at least ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. But I'm guessing the installer noticed that, and instead of driving the screw all the way through to show that he missed the wall, he just left it there so nobody would notice. So it's really too bad that you get some poor installation and you pay a lot of money for stuff, because salesmen like to lie to you. They say, well, you get what you pay for. No, you don't get what you pay for. You get what your warranty gives you. This guy had a 2-year warranty on this. It's been on there since 2022, so been on there about 3 or 4 years, and now it's completely failed, and the company owes him nothing, because the warranty's not for the homeowner. The warranty is for the company, so they don't owe you anything after you figure out all their failures. They have no obligation to fix anything now. Okay, here at the top, we can see the gutter's leaning backwards really far. So that water gets trapped right there. And if there's ice here preventing that water from flowing off the front, then that water will build up behind here. And as it builds up tall enough, it'll run right over the back of the gutter and pour in the wall. And then as it pours in the wall, it causes a lot of damage to the drywall and everything else. It looks like somebody sealed these seams right here, because the way they installed the drip edge, that drip edge is causing that roofing to lean backwards. So right here in the seam, it'll get in that crack right there, and then it'll just fill up and it'll drain backwards into the house. So that's why somebody sealed that, trying to prevent a little bit of it. Here's another seam right there. So yeah, that water will lay in there, and it'll build up and it'll find its way in. Okay, again, here on the back, we have a J channel inside of there, and the gutter was placed over top of the J channel. So that causes the gutter to lean backwards, causes that water to flow into the wall. So here we are, that gutter's leaning backwards. The water's not running off the front anymore, it's running behind the gutter and down inside the wall. So that was all caused by faulty workmanship. They didn't prep it. It was the wrong product in the first place. They're not going to tell you the whole truth. They're only going to tell you what you need to hear just to get their money and go. You only get a 2-year warranty. That's it. By the time you figure it out, it's too late. They don't owe you anything. It's too bad, but that's not the right way. Gutters are not supposed to be leaning backwards. They're supposed to be perfectly level. Okay, back to the front. We do have an overhang here, so the water wouldn't run down the wall. But because the gutters are leaning backwards a little bit, that water can drain through the back here. So this drip edge, because they screwed that down right there, caused the drip edge to tilt up, and that's why you have that roofing curled there. So that could have been done a little bit better, but not having as many issues on the front as he was the back